Um, my name's John Lee. I do some training. Some of you might know me, some of you might not. I'll talk just a little bit about me because it's not really about me today. I'm here just to show you how you can get started. One of the things that I do is I like to show you real estate investing without breaking the bank. You may or may not know I have personally spent over $150,000 in education, different ones. A lot of it's real good, a lot of it's not so much. And I joke about that because that was in 2010. Since then, Laura and I have gotten married and we've gone on lots of other educational experiences. And so who knows what we've actually spent by the time you add travel and everything in there. If you don't have a copy of my latest book, Secrets to Winning with Failed Real Estate Deals, Secrets to Winning with Fred, I do encourage you to send me a request to the email right there, theDealionaire@gmail.com. That's the one that'll get to me the quickest. What we're going to talk about today is kind of the stuff I actually do. It's as you probably know, real estate, if you've been around it at all, is really just a problem-solving venture is what it is. When somebody puts a for sale sign out in their front yard, all that means is I need help. It's a help wanted sign. So that's really kind of how I've got into this, and I'll talk more about that in just a little bit. This is all based off my first book, Secrets of a Dealionaire. This is from the OTC Premier Signature Series. I'm going to show you how I turned $200 into $2,000 with about 2 hours worth of work. This is a simple 3-step proven guaranteed system. I just call it Ultimate Freedom. This is something I put together based on a lot of other learnings in education I've had. I'll talk a little bit about one of my mentors in a little bit, but that's, I just kind of made it my own system, and it has to be simple for me, something really simple that I can transfer to you, because I want you to be independent and not codependent. So many of the gurus and the educators out there today want you to keep coming back over and over and over and over again, which is fine because we all need more education. But one of the things that I've done, I do this with my podcast, I just like to show you some things that you can take right now and not be dependent on me, because I have other things to do just like you do. Let's see here. Okay, the number one problem today, it's really not enough money and so little time. We have a lot going on in our world today. There's a lot of other things that were, a little bit different than it was even, say, a year ago, but it still boils back to the same thing. There's just not enough money, and it's really that we do have enough time. We just don't put it in the right things. I know I get sidetracked, and I know a lot of us, especially getting into education, you'll see the next shiny thing and then you'll go for that. One of the problems we have in our country is each year, according to U.S. statistics, there's over 1 million people file for bankruptcy. One of the things when I was doing some of my research back a few years ago that I found was over 80% of the people that file for bankruptcy, that could all be prevented if they only had $300 more per month. I mean, $300 and you wouldn't have to file bankruptcy. So that's one of the things that I like to show people. I know when I was a mortgage broker, I worked with a lot of people and they just needed a little bit of more money to get out of some of the problems they had. And that's one reason that I do what I do. And one of the things I'm going to show you today, I'm going to show you the 3 simple moves so you can start this today. You can get off the call today and you can start this now. This is turning $200 into $2,000 with about 2 hours worth of work. This is my simple 3-step proven guaranteed system. I call it just Ultimate Freedom. These are small real estate deals. You're solving problems for just in a small way, and there's no license required. The first step is to discover who to talk to. Next, what to look out for, what to do, and where to look. Some of the biggest things that I've learned along the way is what to look out for. Second step is to design. These are simple, I call them deal crafting techniques. I've narrowed this down to only 7 documents to run my entire business. I'm going to show you a couple of those today. I don't even use 7 documents. That's for everything with all my businesses. I spent tens of thousands, if not even more, way more than that, with attorneys and just to get all this paperwork and to simplify it. I've taken what I've learned from all these experts and made it my own, something that I can transfer to you to show to you fairly easily, because it's got to be simple. It's got to be simple for me to understand it. It's got to be simple for me to show you how to do it. And then the third step, which is about my favorite. This is to deploy your deals. These are your agreements and your terms. I'm going to show you how I do some of this to make them up on my terms, to live life on your terms, so you can live your life by design and not by default. Okay, let me just tell you just a little bit about me. I'm not going to spend too much time here. I grew up back in the 60s and 70s. Pretty uneventful. You know, I didn't have a silver spoon in my mouth, but my way I was born. But my dad, he was a little bit different than most of my friends' dads who had normal jobs. My dad actually had a music store, was kind of an entrepreneur before it was even popular back then. One of the things, he wasn't home a lot, so I kind of grew up, you know, with my mom, and I was the oldest, so I had 4 sisters that grew up under me. One of the things I learned from my father, though, early on is he taught me to work hard, but what I did learn also is to work smart from him. And one of the things, the most important things I did learn from him is you get money from only one place. That's from other people. You have to give them a good value to get the people, or to get the money from the people. So one of the things that I learned early on, we used to is how to get money from other people. Of course, we collected back then it was soda bottles, but soda cans. We ran little carnivals in the neighborhood, but we always gave them a little bit more than what they even thought they were going to get. So if we charged $0.25 for the carnival we ran all day, we would give them $1 worth. That's just one of the things I learned. Leave everybody. One of the things I got from my mom: leave them better than the way they found you. Then grew up. They're pretty uneventful. Then life happened. I got married at a young age. I was only barely 18. I got right into the real world. I thought my life was great. I bought a house. I got a corporate job. Everything was great for a few years. And then it all came crashing down. Lost my job, lost my house, lost my family, lost everything in my whole life. I had to completely start over. When most of my friends were just getting out of their parents' house and starting things, getting out of college and stuff, my life seemed like it was coming to an end. So I had a really tough time. I didn't know what I was going to do after I lost my job at the airport. I had to kind of just see what happened. But of course, I owed everybody. I had, of course, child support. I had money I had to pay for through my debts. Everything that could happen at once seems to happen. And you may be like that today. I know it does happen to all of us. We all go through peaks and valleys as we go along. So what I had to do, things were really looking bleak for a while. I wasn't really in prison, even though it looks like my mom's looking in here. I mean, I actually had to move back into my mom's basement for a while. It was what I considered at the time a low point in my life. I learned a lot during that time, though. I had to completely redo what I thought life was about. I had to go back kind of to, forget the corporate job. I had to do, look and see what was best for me. What I did is I had to reinvent myself. I looked at the financial arena because a lot of people were making money there. I got into the insurance business, which was good. It was a great learning experience, but there was times I didn't even have enough money for gas. So what I had to do is figure out other ways to make money so I could get my financial career going, which wasn't really going too good at the start. I actually went out and bought some stencils and spray paint at one point and painted numbers on curbs, the addresses out in front of the houses. I did that for probably a year on and off. Sometimes I would do that so I could get enough gas to get home. It was not the highlight of my life, but I had to reinvent myself and see what I did. By the insurance business, I got into the mortgage business. I learned a lot right there. I learned a lot about financing, a lot about credit. I used to help people, get their credit back in line so they could get a loan. Sometimes that was the only way I could get a loan so I could get paid. So I kind of got thrown right into the fire. It was great experience. I'll tell you, I've learned so many invaluable lessons during that time and was able to help people. One of the problems was, though, is I was trading my time for money. I made really good money back then, but I was working 6, 7, I joke about it, sometimes 8 days a week. I'm wearing a suit and tie every day. Yeah, I was working on Sundays a lot. I would meet people for paperwork or whatever I had to do, but I was trading all my time for money. And there had to be a better way. I was looking for something better. What I started doing is I started working with investors at that time. Somehow I actually had an investor came to me the first time because I was a mortgage broker. He was looking for money and didn't want to go through all the hassle and everything with a traditional bank. And I wasn't really traditional because I had worked with people that I had to get their credit in line so they could even get a loan. So it was it was, you know, it was just a different thing. But investors, what I noticed, they were different type of people to work with. They were easier. They were more laid back. But one of the things that really opened my eyes is I was doing basically all the work. I would find the people, the buyers. I would get them coordinated with the sellers. I was getting the people in line so they could get a loan. I would show up at the closing table. I would make maybe a couple $1,000s after months, maybe sometimes months of my time. The investors, they'd walk away tens of thousands of dollars, 50,000, 100,000. And they'd have on like shorts and flip flops and Hawaiian shirts. I'm sitting there sweating to death in my suit and my tie, and I'm going, wait a minute. I'm on the wrong side of the table. There's got to be a better way to do this. So I started taking what I learned from them and started kind of putting it together in my own way. I didn't have a lot of money to invest because I still had a lot of things I was paying off. There was a lot of things going on, but what I had to do is learn a different way to craft this. So one of the things that I'm going to show you today, I learned a lot about crafting different ways to make money and about deal making, but the thing I'm actually going to show you today is these little deals. I came up with this. It actually took me over 2 years of my time driving down to Arkansas almost every weekend, which I never even did. It was great education. I should have bought something at the time though, because I could have made all my trips tax deductible, but I thought I had to have everything perfect. It had to be better. What I've learned though is I am not a perfectionist. I'm a progressionist. I just need to be a little bit better than I was. And actually what I did find out is there's no such thing as a perfectionist. All you could ever become is an imperfectionist, because you don't find everything perfect. You find everything imperfect when you have that kind of frame of mind. So what I do now is I just try, and that's one reason I'm still doing everything I'm doing. I just want to be a little bit better every day. What I've learned through this process though about simplifying everything and putting it together is now I can transfer these skills that I've learned, these techniques, to you very easily without you having to go through the 15, 20 plus year learning curve and earning curve. So that's one of the things that I'm going to show you. What you're going to learn today, you can take with you immediately. Since then, things have gotten a little bit better for me. Obviously, things go up and down like they do for all of us. I've bought and sold just these little properties like I'm talking about right here, and I call them little properties. They are huge properties if you really want to know the truth. But I've bought and sold over 3,000 properties so far. And at the time I made this, I did have buyers in 48 states and 16 countries around the world. Actually, I think it's 18 countries now. But these are just some of the things that I have, and I'm going to show you some case studies, some examples here in a minute. Since then, also, I've written a few books. Each one of these, you can check them out. If you don't have a copy, like I said, of the Secrets to Winning with Failed Real Estate Deals, Secrets with Fred, send me an email and I'll give you a copy of that, because that one, it just kind of shows you how you can do this. But all the things I'm going to show you today is based on my very first book, Secrets of a Dealionaire. It's creating wealth one small deal at a time. You'll see I have my foreword by Robert Allen. He's the one that wrote the original book, Nothing Down. He's my mentor and a friend of mine. I'll talk more about him in a little while. Some of the things, there's people that said some things about my books. I get a lot of reviews. I never really checked this out till recently, but like Tina Ray, I just got this from her. We've read some of John's books. They're very helpful to our real estate business. We have a lot of knowledge to share. And if you want to be successful in real estate, each one of these books will, like I said, save you 10, 15, 20 years off the learning curve. It's stuff that I put together that I can easily transfer to you, so you can learn these things and you don't have to spend the 10 to 20 years learning this yourself. Secrets of a Dealionaire. This is the book I wrote. I actually wrote this, my first book. I wasn't going to do this, but so many people were asking me about the things I was doing. I said, I have to put this down. I wrote this back in 2014. The reason that sticks so well in my head, because there's my mom right there. A lot of the things in the way I do business today was based on my mom's principles and on her character. My mom, and the reason I know this, because she passed away in 2014, right after her 75th birthday. And she did get to read this book a couple months before she died. But this is based on her principles to leave everybody better off than the way they found you. And it used to, sometimes it actually bugged me sometimes, because we would have renters that owed us money and things like that. And she would just say, well, and she would bring them presents and little snacks and gifts. And I'd say, Mom, these guys owe us money, and she goes, I know, but look at that cute little baby. That baby has no idea what's going on. And that's just the way she did things. So I based everything, and actually all my trainings on this in my books. The way I look at it is leave everybody better off than they found you. Now I'm going to give you a couple examples. This is stuff I've actually did, and this is stuff you can still do today. This is a building lot. I actually paid $35 for this. I sold it for $2,354. My return on my investment was 6,600%. Here's another one, mobile home lots. I love mobile home lots. You can find areas where they are. They're fairly easy to sell, I found. This one I paid $42. I sold it for $3,234. My return on my investment, 7,600%. This one right here, some of the things I learned along the way is how to put lots together and split them up. I looked for the legal description. This is one of the things I teach you a little bit more in my advanced training. But this was 2 properties I bought together. I put them together actually, 5.5 lots. There was 2 houses total on there. One of the house, I paid a total of $1,320, about almost $26 for them. That's actually with some attorney fees in there and some other things. I talk a little bit more about this in my free book, Secrets to Winning with Fred, because this is the story where the arsonist had other plans. I was going to tear down this house that you're looking at right here, rebuild the other house. I was down in Florida over the holidays. I got a call from the sheriff, and actually an arsonist had got in my other house, started a fire, and burned it down. I learned a couple other things about insurance and things that anyway, it gets into a lot longer story. If you'd like to read that, you're welcome to have that. I will give you a free copy of that book. What I did though, I had to redo this and come up with another plan. Okay. I had to come up with a plan B, and I typically don't do plan Bs. So what I did is I split, 2 of these lots off, and I sold them for $3,997. I ran an ad. I just said, low down, and they offered me $500, $100 a month. I went with that. I do things typically at 0% interest to keep it all simple. But you'll see it says free range chickens down there. I ran an ad, and I thought it was a joke at first, but this lady sent me back an email, and she says, do you allow free range chickens? I thought it was a joke. And I said, well, I guess you could have free range chickens, but you may want to watch the neighbor free range dogs, and turned out it wasn't a joke. She was very interested. What she ended up doing was buying this place, and she's turned it into a chicken coop, and they keep their free range chickens there. She fenced it all in. It's actually a pretty good setup now, but this is just how I sold it to her. Another thing, I still had some of these lots left. I took 1.5 of these lots. My total cost was about $361.37 by the time you broke it down from what I paid for all 5.5. I sold this one for $30,997. This particular one, again, I said low down. They offered me $200. I took it. This one, also, you'll see I have $199. I typically charge $199. I don't really want to call it a closing fee, but it's like a transaction cost is what I call it. People don't really like fees, and they don't, but they don't mind a little cost now and then. I do this. It pretty much gives me my money back. This one I sold for $39 a month. I do a lot of $39, $49, $69 a month, $139 a month. I do them at 0% interest. This goes on for 102 months or 8.5 years. I mean, it don't seem like much, but get you 10 of these, get you 100 of these out there. I mean, it's just money you don't have to worry about. They can't take it like a car, or if you're selling something else, the property's still there. It's still in your name till you transfer it to them. This is the best business I've ever seen, is doing these little deals like this. This one right here is another example I like to use. This one, I just call it the sewer bill that came with a house. I originally had 2 lots that I bought together, and in this case I split the lots right off the bat. I bought them together, so I paid a little bit less. But when I see the legal description with 2 lots there, I know I can split it without doing any surveys or any kind of engineering work. Okay, it saves me a lot of money. That's one of the things I've learned over the years that I can show you. The first lot I sold this one for $2,400 cash. As you can see, I got 10 times my money back right off the bat. I sold the other one on payments, and it was like I think it was $27 a month, $29 a month. The guy paid on it for just a little while, and he quit paying on it. I didn't even think much about it. I kind of forgot about it. All of a sudden, I got a sewer bill from the township that it's in. I didn't think much about it. I looked up the address. I don't have a property with that address. I got another one. And then by the time I got the third one, I went ahead and called them down there, and they said, well, yeah, you got a sewer going to your house. I said, there's no house in that property. She goes, let me send the maintenance guy down after lunch. I'll call, and then we'll call you back. So they did call me back in a couple hours. They said, yeah, you got a sewer hooked up to your little house there. I said, really? I said, okay. So I went down here in a couple of weeks because I had to be down in the area anyway, and I was taking pictures of another property. I walked back in the woods there, and sure enough, this little gray house you see is what was on my property. Okay, now as you can imagine, it wasn't in the greatest shape because it had been empty for about 5 or 6 years. But what I did, I just took some pictures of it. And I barely walked in. A lot of these properties I don't walk in that I pick up like this. And I used to go in all of them, but I don't anymore. But what I did is I just put this, I said, okay, let's just put it up for sale. $6,900 owner financing, possible owner financing, and low down. I had somebody contact me almost immediately, wanted to give me, she went down, looked at it, wanted to give me $200, $75 a month. I said, okay. So that's what I did. I sold that. This return on my investment probably wasn't as much as some of those other ones, but it still only took me a few hours. It didn't really take me that long. 3,908% is my return on investment. This one here, I put these lots together, and I kind of wanted to show you this one here. Is the reason I put this in. These are 23 lots I bought all separately. Total, I only paid $1,043 for all these lots, all 23 of them. In this case, I actually had somebody come and get a hold of me who wanted to buy properties in this area. We agreed on a price of $50,000 at 0%, $200 a month. Okay. I put these all together. That saved me a lot of money. It also saves money on recording when you can do that too. My total return on investment on this property, $4,690. I don't think I counted the 2 tacos I had for lunch when we met, but that I was going to probably eat lunch anyway. So that's how I put them together. This here is free property. This is something I've learned along the way too. I learned to ask people just to give me their properties for free. Now this one here, I paid the $117 in the back taxes. It also cost me $27 in a recording fee with the county. So I had a total of $145 out of pocket on this one. This particular property, I sold it for $2,842 at $27 a month. Now this guy paid on it for a while. He had some life changes, which does happen sometimes, and he just gave me the property back. So I resold it. After the 29 months I collected on that, I resold this again. This was just recently at $3,897, and again, $39 a month. So this goes on for years. I got a little smarter though. I don't pay the back taxes so much like I used to. This next one here, this is a free property I got. This is a house. My actual cost on this one was about $65, and that's recording fees. This one only had $1,300 in back taxes due on it. And this is one that's kind of some of the things I learned along the way. This is not one that necessarily anybody would know about. It wasn't listed for sale. What I did find out about this particular house is the guy was going in the nursing home, and his wife had recently passed away. Well, I sent him one of my letters just asking him for the house. He signed it right over to me. This is something I learned too. This guy actually, since his wife was died, had to get an affidavit signed, which he went and did. He found this out on his own. I mean, and I don't know if it was somebody, his lawyer or somebody at the nursing home. That's something I can share with you now too, though. Anytime there's a death, it's not that big a deal. This particular house, I did not pay the taxes on. Like I said, I got a little bit smarter than my first few that I did like this. This one I sold it only for $4,800. Now, and the buyer paid the back taxes, all the fees connected with that. The only thing I paid was my recording fees. This particular house was full of sports memorabilia, collectibles, and just stuff. It had hundreds of like salt and pepper shakers. It had all kinds of stuff that was signed. Much of the stuff I took out to the auction house. I know I've talked about before that they sold a lot of this stuff, but it had, it probably had a couple of thousand of these big books. I think she was in the Novel of the Month Club or something. And these things had to cost a lot, but there was just all these books that weren't open. Many of them were 500 to 700 pages. So anyway, somebody told me though, if you look through them, a lot of people hide money in there. Well, I looked through a little bit of it, but it was summertime. It was just too hot. I didn't want to keep looking through them. So finally I just sold it as is because this house didn't have any electric on it when I got it. I sold it for $4,800 because it was a fairly quick sale, and I sold it to a guy. Actually, this is a great deal for him. Why do people buy these things? Because he was paying about $850 for rent in a small apartment not too far from here. He moved his business in here right off the bat, and he eventually moved in here as he fixed the house up. What's it actually worth? Yeah, I could have made a lot more money. It could have been worth 50, maybe 60, 70,000 in the neighborhood. I chose not to do that because a lot of times I'd rather make a little quick money and then leave a lot of money on the bone for, for somebody else to make, leave a lot of meat on the bone for them to make the money. So that's what I did in this case. I do that a lot. This one here, this is another, these are 9 free houses I got all at once. Another thing I learned along the way is I learned to talk to other investors. This one, I used to avoid them. Anytime I would see investors maybe getting behind their taxes or come up to the tax sale, I would think, well, they already know as much as me, if not more. Well, I found that's not really the case. I sent off, this is the very first one actually I ever did to an investment group out in, I didn't really realize this was out west, but because I was sending out about 50 letters in that week. I had a lot of ads running at the time. I got a message. I had about 40 messages. I didn't even return this guy's phone call for about 2 days because all he did is leave his name and number. Well, I got back to him and I returned his phone call. And the guy says, John, he goes, I got this letter from you. It says that you'll take this property if I get this deed notarized. I said, yeah, if that's what it says, absolutely. And he goes, well, how many of these do you want? I said, how many do I want? I said, how many do you got? He goes, I can give you 9 of them right now. I said, okay, I'll take them. He goes, you send me the deeds and I'll, so he gave me the addresses and he goes, and I'll get them notarized. I sent him the deeds. I went and looked these things up. Took me maybe an hour because he gave me the addresses. It's really not hard to find. I sent him the deeds, which I even sent by email. He sent me he actually printed them out, got them notarized, and overnighted them back to me. I had all these properties. Well, I learned not to pay the taxes that I just showed you on the last slide. I went out and I just took pictures of these houses. I didn't even get out of my truck in most of these cases. I just drove by, took pictures. You can see the house in the middle. That particular one, there was a lady living in there, not paying rent. I guess she was squatting, and she'd been there for a couple of years. I think her Mustang was worth more than the house was at the time, but she was taking care of it. This is one of the houses I sold for a little bit less money. I did not want to have to fight with the lady who'd been living there. She was even keeping the sewer bill up to date, but I sold this particular one this is one I only sold for $1,500, but I sold it to actually he's a minister. This guy runs a ministry between New York City and St. Louis. He helps people getting out of jail and getting off drugs. And he said he wanted to handle this lady and talk to her. I was happy to let him do it. Again, this is a house I didn't pay anything for. You'll see I have a total cost of about $500 on the top. That's just for recording and a few things that I did. That's counting going out for lunch and meeting people and a few things like that. I typically didn't have more. I don't even think I had 2 hours in all these houses. You see the one house down there on the left? It looks like I took a picture through my truck window. I absolutely did. Okay, this house at the time, I did not get out. I was hoping I could snap a good picture while I was driving by. The house directly to the left of this, this was my second time around the block too. The police were hauling a guy out with guns drawn and they had the guy on the ground. I did not want to stop and get out and take pictures of this house while that was going on. Actually, I did sell this one though, and it was pretty easy to sell. And I just tell them as is, and you can go look at it. 2 of the houses you'll see I sold 7 out of 9. 2 of them I did not sell. The one on the top in the middle, this was the first time I drove by. The second time I drove by there, the county had demolished it. Okay, and that's one of the things you do want to look out for. I just let that one kind of die. I never did put it in anybody's name because that's one of the things you do not want a $10,000 or $15,000 demolition fee on a property that you got for free or for a couple $100. That's part of the due diligence that you want to check into. There was one other house that had too much taxes. I think when it was coming up to the sale and I couldn't redeem it. I believe that was the one, the bottom one on the right, if I remember right. But all the rest of them I sold. I got a total of about $26,000 back on these. I didn't pay any of these taxes. They all range between about $4,000, a little over $4,000, and a little over $16,000. The buyers pay this. I have a new way that I do this that I started doing. I used to pay everything and put it in my name. I don't do that anymore. I show you how not to do that. So these are the 3 simple steps that I'm going to show you on how to do some of these. The first step to turn $200 into $2,000 with about 2 hours worth of work is to discover. You have to discover the deals. These are low cost and free properties. I just showed you a couple case studies and a couple of things that I've done, and I can easily transfer these skills to you. I show you where to look. And also your due diligence. Like I showed you that one that was demolished the day before. If I would have put that in my name, I would have been responsible for that. There's other ways you can try to get out of it. It's, to me, it's not even worth going through the hassle of that and wasting your time. I show you what to look out for, what to look for. Those are some of the things that you want to see. Well, I'm going to show you the 3 simple steps right now. First of all, where do you discover these properties? Well, what I have found is the #1 seller of real estate that I've ever seen is our government. The government's not in the real estate business, but they have lots of property for sale. And so they have lots of properties. Most of the properties I have bought from the government. I like buying over the counter without going to tax sales. I've showed you over 3,000 properties I bought and sold. I have never been to a tax sale. I don't like competition. So what do I do? What am I going to show you right now? Okay, the government, the simplest way to do it is just go onto the internet and go to a website. I did this the other day. Look on the county's websites. There's 3,141 counties in the United States. They all basically go to the tune of their own drummer. I mean, they all do stuff differently. So you're just going to have to call and find out. This one here is Washington County. I wanted to do a place. I've never bought a property just so I could show you what to do today just by going out of the blue. I got a hold of Washington County. I went to their website. You can go find this. This is all public information. Go to Google. Uncle Google's our friend in many ways. You go there. I found this site right here. So I went on the website. They have nothing about their properties. So what did I do? I had the phone number here. I called up the collector. You want to call the collector or the trustee and find out. And I asked just one simple question. Do you have any properties that did not sell at the last tax sale that you want to sell? And then you can sell over the counter. You don't even have to say that. And of course, she told me, yeah. She goes, I'll send you the spreadsheet of what I have. And within about 2 minutes, she sent me this spreadsheet right here. It's actually 997 properties. You see, the line shows 998, but they start on line number 2. I don't know if that's an Excel thing or a government thing. I don't know, but she sent me the whole sheet. Each one of these are $100, no other fees to buy. And I simply asked her, I said, okay, there's no other fee. She says, no, we will sell these for $100. I said, are these in an association? Do I have to consider any associations, property owner associations or homeowner associations? She said, yes. She said, there's a place, it's called Woodland. So I looked them up. They're right on the internet too. Okay, their phone numbers, first thing on their website. So what did I do? I called them. And I talked to that lady probably for about 2 or 3 minutes. She said, yeah, there's a $206.50 per year association dues you have to pay. We will prorate the first year. And they come up in September. So when the year comes up, we will just charge you whatever the balance is and then charge you for another full year. There's no back fees to pay. That's very important. One of the things that I learned, and I want to make sure you know, is if you have to pay back dues because these properties, there's 997 of them there, I'll guarantee you nobody's been paying their association dues for years. I have talked to some associations that require you to pay all this. Most of them do not. There are some that do, but that's something you need to know. That's something I did find out right there. I found out their hours. They have 3 pools there. They have, our 3 beaches. They have a pool. They have a clubhouse. There's a lot of things you get for your $206. And so right there, you've got your property, $100. Okay, that goes right with my model. How to turn $200 into $2,000. Okay, there you go. The second step is the design. These are your what I call simple deal crafting techniques. And these are things that you're going to decide. This is your structure, and this to design your strategies. Like I said, I have 7 documents to run your entire business, and you really don't even need that many. And I'm going to show you a couple. I'm going to show you a couple right now. This is where you want to really, design what you want to do. Do you want short-term gain or long-term income? You really want both. I showed you some of the things, even at $39 a month, that go on 8, and some of them go 11 years. I've got deals that go over 20 years with some of the properties that I used to have as rental properties. I use some of the same kind of techniques there. But you want to look. Most of us need some short-term money coming in, but we also want long-term income. This is stuff, no matter what kind of pandemic or what kind of, I call them ice ages when anytime the real estate changes, because I've been through 3 of them now. I just call them, when things aren't as good or they're just different. You just have to do things different than what you used to. But the long-term income is what I really want in the long run. This makes it all easier. And this is what I want to show you. If you can avoid, you can avoid a bankruptcy over $300 a month, there you go. This is how you do it. Hardest part of this whole system right here is deciding how you want to do this. Do you want long-term gain, or do you want short-term income? I mean, what do you really want? Well, I told you it's only a few simple documents, and this is how I do it. Okay. I usually give people a choice, and that's totally up to you. You may want some of both. Okay. This right here is what I use. This is a contract for deed. If I'm going to take short-term gain, I would not use this. If I'm going to take long-term income, this is where this would come in. It's very simple. I spent tens of thousands of dollars with my attorney to devise all these. The first one he ever did was over 6 pages long. I've narrowed this down to just a few paragraphs. Where do you find this? If you want to sell your property on terms, go to Uncle Google. They have all the information right there. Just Google contract for deed. There's no magic in this. That's how I did it when I first came out. Okay, let's say that at the end of the term, you want to transfer the property, or let's say you do want the short-term gain. What do you do to transfer the property? Because the county is going to give you either a collector's deed or a trustee's deed. That goes to you, but you can't give that to your end buyer, your other person. So what do? There's a lot of deeds that you can use. There's a few of them, and I get into some of that in my advanced training, but a quit claim deed, that's all you need to know. Again, where you get that? Go to Uncle Google, quit claim deed, and then do it specific for your county. Also, you can get free information for your county. They will show you this. One of the things that I've learned is like in Missouri here, they're all different. Every county's different. Some of them, they have you have to have a cover sheet on them. Some of them, you just have to have a space. Most of them in Missouri here, you have to have a 3.5-inch space above where it says quitclaim deed. That's for their recording stamp and their embossed stamp. Okay, I had a student not too long ago. She wanted to make all her documents pretty. She subtracted all that. They will not record it. You want to be careful with that, because you do have to record. You have to get this notarized before recording. So you really just only want to do this once. You don't want to go through all the trial and error like I've done over the years. I can save you every bit of that. But that's where you get that. You simply get it notarized with your new borrower. They don't even have to be involved. So you can have somebody out of state. You just get notarized, send it to your county for recording. The third simple step, okay, and that's to deploy your deals. That's how you make your deals. And these are your deals. This is your agreements. These are your terms. This is what you come up with. This is your marketing and ads. Okay, these are your deals into cash. This is your money. You're going to design all this. You're going to set your life up by design and not default, which is where you may be at now, like I was in the past. Okay, so what do you do here? Now, I showed you where to find them and how to design them. Now, to deploy them, what do you do? Well, you simply write an ad. There's so many free places now. When I first started, you had to pay for most of this kind of stuff. And what did I do? I didn't know much about writing ads. Since then, I've had a lot of marketing and a lot of education that I've taken from other people, from a lot of gurus, from a lot of people. I've learned a lot. Some of that stuff I can share with you. What I did when I first started, I'm going to encourage you to do. Just go look and see what other people have done. I just went and took out the best things I liked out of them and got rid of what I didn't like. And I just wrote up my own ads. And that's what I encourage you to do. Just go look at it. One of the best skills you can ever have is being a marketer. So that's what you do. That simply take pictures of the properties. You can get all those off the website I just showed you. Okay, of the association. They're happy to share their pictures with you. This is what you're buying. This is the pool. How do you collect your money? Well, I'll collect it any way you want to give to me. When I started this over 20 years ago, that's when eBay and actually PayPal was fairly new. I've had my accounts with them and PayPal in particular since the 90s, way over 20 years. That used to be the only way to do it. Yeah, of course they charge you the 3.2% or whatever, but they all charge you something. That's the cost of doing business. How do I do stuff now? any way you want. Of course, we got Square and Stripe and all that kind of stuff now, but it's actually my buyers who decide how I take my money now. I had one not too long ago, do you accept Zelle? Of course I accept Zelle. I'll accept anything you want to give me. And of course, they'll send me the thing, then you have to get it approved with your bank. Yes. Pop Money, I do that now too. I'd never heard of Pop Money. I had a guy from up in Wisconsin, he asked me, he goes, John, do you accept Pop Money? Of course I do. I'll accept it any way you want to give it to me. I'll do it. If I got to figure it out, so be it. I mean, so what? So it takes me a half hour to get my paperwork sent in. It's not sitting down usually at a half hour. My bank will send me an email. They need ABC, and I'll send it to them. Okay, that's just, I'll take it any way you want to give it to me. And what do? Okay, this is, if you're collecting money on payments, this is a receipt. I give each one of my buyers a receipt every month. Takes me about 5 minutes. I include that in my 2 hours worth of total time. I've got 5 minutes a month. I can accept the $39 or the $340 or the $850 or whatever they're sending me per month. This is a receipt. Where do you get this receipt? I got my first ones from Uncle Google. Just go Google a receipt. You can make up your own. This one I did make up my own. That's what you're looking at right here. You're welcome to copy it. I just simply put their name, the date, how much you paid, the property address, and how much you owe me. By using my technique of 0% interest, I factor in a price, and I go into that a little bit deeper in some of the other training. But just however you want to do it. I have a cash price, like on the one I just showed you, the little property I buy for $100. I would probably put that one up for around $2,500 cash or $3,500 if I finance it at $39 a month or $49 or whatever you're comfortable with. As the person paid me each month, I would, if they paid me $100 and they owed me $3,500, I would put $3,400 on the balance right here. You owe me the $39 or whatever the case may be for the next month, whenever that is. And of course, I'll accept it any way you want to do it. Okay. This is I already showed you this. This is the quit claim deed. I like using quit claim deeds because people understand, they've all heard it. This is not a quick claim. A lot of people think it's quick. No, it's a quit claim deed. Okay. This is just what you transfer properties. There are some other deeds that are a little bit better. You have a general warranty deed, which is more ironclad. And there's special warranty deeds, and there's some other things I use. I get into that a little bit more. You don't need to get too complicated to get this started, though. What I'm showing you right here is these 3 steps is all you need to start this today, right now. You can go right after this call. You can go right out and start your business. And how do you collect the money still? I don't care. I'll still collect cash. I had a guy look me up just a couple months ago. It's a property I didn't even realize I still had. He found an old website I didn't even know I still had, and offered me, what he offered me, he said, pay cash. I said, I'd take it. He took it too quick, so I probably should have charged him more, but it was still way over 10 times what I paid for the property, and I had collected payments on it for a while. But I'll meet people and collect cash. I know there's a war on cash going on in the country and in the world. I don't care. I'll take cash all day long. So really, this is just how you're going to design this. This is all up to you, so you can live your life by design and not by default. Those are the 3 simple steps. You can take those right now. And like I said, go to Uncle Google and you got all the forms you need. Keep it simple. That's what I've had to learn to do. Okay, those are the 3 steps. Discover, 1, 2, design, and 3, deploy. That's how you turn $200 into $2,000 with about 2 hours worth of work. These are simple 3-step proven guaranteed system. I've been doing this for years. I call this the ultimate freedom. These are small real estate deals, and there's no license required. Okay, here's Marion. She's in her mid-70s. This is what she had to say. She actually put this into practice, and this is what she said. By using John's Dealionaire system, I purchased a property for only $105. I put my property up for sale with a very simple marketing technique he showed me. My property sold within 7 days for $2,892. The total amount of time I invested was about 2 hours worth of work. Then here's Don B. What he had to say was, John, thank you for your new book. Your boot camp was first class. I have paid thousands for courses that did not come close to what you gave us for pennies. I really appreciate all that you do, and now changing my whole strategy. I will now be handling more deals without having so much money tied up. Thanks. And that was my big thing too, is not have all the money tied up. Okay, that's the simple the simple system that I put together. I gave you the 3 steps that you can take with you. If you didn't get a copy of my new book, Secrets to Winning with Fred, Failed Real Estate Deals, please do send me an email. I want to give you another gift just for staying here till now. And if you want to stay around and see my advanced training, you can. But you're welcome to go now and take what you've learned and put that into practice. Which I've mentioned a little bit, Robert Allen, one of my mentors and good friends, he wrote the foreword for Secrets of a Dealionaire. This is a book he wrote actually right here in St. Louis. He took some people out of the unemployment line and taught them how to do real estate investing without ever having a need for money again. He has given me permission to give this book to you. This particular one has a lot of footnotes and a lot of special things that he put in there. So you're getting a kind of a special copy of this just for being here today. So please go and request that copy right now. And you can go to the same place if you don't have a copy of my other book, please do. These are my gifts to you just for coming and listening to me today. And I hope you learned and took notes on the 3 simple steps, because you can put that into practice today. So do send me a request for Bob's book as well as my other one. Okay, as far as why do I do this? Why am I writing books? Why am I teaching anybody anything right now? Well, you know, I like to, here's why. Here's my wife, Laura. We like to do things together. We like to spend time doing things, the things we love. Most people, they work too hard for their money. Like I said earlier, over 1 million people file for bankruptcy each year. 80% could be prevented. It's just not fair for me not to share these things with you. That's why I do it right there, because I want to spend more time with my loved ones and doing things that I actually want to do, just like I want for you. I mean, I don't need to do anything else. I could just go on and do my little deals day in and day out. But it's really not fair that I just don't share it with you. You should know how to do this too, because these are very, very simple things. Yeah, I had to learn it the hard way, but I can transfer these to you easily. Here's some thank you notes I got just for some of the trainings and the books I've done, but also I get people that that give me their properties for free. They send me thank you notes. The first one I ever got, I go, what is this I'm getting in the mail? It was a thank you note. She didn't know what to do. This was a burdensome from her. She had inherited this property, didn't know what to do with it. She thanked me for taking it. I got her property for free. I made thousands of dollars on this. But it was, to her, it was a life load off of her life. Here's what a few others had to say. Here's Bill Beatty. He's a real estate attorney. I kept thinking, John, you are giving away some great secrets. Then I thought, the man knows what he is talking about. He has lived it. He should share it. There's wealth in your thoughts and suggestions, but also in the realization that one can trust the advice. You are my most enterprising client by developing a business out of the taxation of real property. I thought the government was the only one to make money out of taxes. I was impressed. That's Bill Beatty. Here's AJ Rasamny. He's business expert. He's author of Gain the Unfair Advantage. I don't think anybody knows as much about business as he does. Here's what he had to say. John Lee teaches unique strategies for buying real estate with little or no money. He teaches how to obtain free properties from others and how to buy a property for a couple $100s and turn it into thousands of dollars in profit with only 2 hours of work. Every real estate investor and entrepreneur that is interested can generate multiple streams of income. That was AJ Rasamny. Then here's Cynthia Smith. Here's what she had to say. John sets the path to success with one step at a time. The small deals that John can help you acquire can add up to a huge portfolio. John is definitely on the cutting edge of real estate investing. Then here's like I said, my mentor, and I learned a lot. This is Robert Allen. He's been around a while. He wrote the original book, Nothing Down, which a lot of the real estate groups around the country were farmed from. He's a 5-time New York Times bestseller. And again, the book that I'm going to give you is one of my gifts, Creating Wealth. That was not a 5-time, not Creating Wealth. The Challenge, that is not a New York Times bestseller, but he considers that his best book. So do I. Bob, I've gotten really to know him pretty well. He wrote the foreword for Secrets of a Dealionaire. Here we are just a couple months ago. Here's what Bob had to say.
You think that that's probably got some good information attached to it that people would kind of like to learn how to do that? They're little deals. not big deals, but he knows how to find those little tiny little pieces of property all over Missouri, and he knows how to find them and flip them. And when he buys them, sometimes he'll turn around and sell them for nothing down. Yeah, like give me an example of something you just recently did.
My favorite ones are the ones I do that I buy for, say, big taxis from the counties over the counter. And I recently did some that I bought 4 lots together, straight front, $42 on one, $42 on the other one, $15 on one, $75 on one. I sold for $13,999 at $139 a month, 0% interest. Those are my favorite.
That sounds like a good deal to you. Bargain, something to figure that out. In other words, when did you do this?
Last year I did.
Last year?
I sold them in January.
Oh my gosh. You know, this is not something that was 30 years ago. This is something that's now, right? Now, John makes money on his deals. But John is branching out. He's saying, I'd like to teach people how to do this, right?
That's correct.
Yeah, and he's becoming an infopreneur, which I'm recommending that you do. That you become an infopreneur. That you take the system that what I call your bread and butter, the thing that you were, because for him it's little deals. This is his bread and butter. He's the best in the world at it. I want you to be like John. First you succeed at doing your deals, and then you're going to teach other people how to do the same thing. And it's going to be I think, John, you're going to make much more money doing, teaching what you do. Just wanted you to see the Dealionaire up here and see what John is like. This is your model. This is not Robert Allen, this is, different guy. This is just John, right?
A lot of it's thanks to you, though.
Oh,
well,
yeah. Okay. Yeah. So he'll give me a little piece of that credit, but he's an amazing guy. I love this guy. I love John. I love his wife. When he calls me on the phone, I know exactly who it is. Am I going to take his call? Absolutely. Am I going to take his email? Absolutely. Because he's earned the right. He's the best in the world at what he does. I'm the best in the world at what I do. I want you to be the best in the world at what you do. And then you're going to organize that into a system. And just like John, you're going to monetize it, all right? Everybody give a hand to John. Thank you very much.
So that was Bob. Okay, that is the system right there. Our Secrets of a Dealionaire, my first book there, that's the OTC Premier Signature Series. And that is how you turn $200 into $2,000 with about 2 hours worth of work. It's, again, a simple 3-step proven guaranteed system. I just call it the ultimate freedom. Okay, those are the 3 steps that I've narrowed down. Discover the deals. Number 2 is to design the deals, and number 3 is to deploy your deals. Get them out there. That's your money. Okay, this is a guaranteed, proven, guaranteed system. It now includes what I've really changed this a few times. At first, I was going to do this just for not much money, but not have really much into it. I really just made this really something now. I put a lot more into it than I ever planned on, because I really want you to learn everything I've learned. It's taken me 10, 15, 20 years to learn. And it has what I just put in is the absolute must-have, and I call this the personal quick start. Now, you do have to apply for this, to even get accepted into the program. But one of the things I do as soon as you're accepted, I'm going to set up a time with you, and we're going to go over your personal goals. I'm going to get you right there up to full speed and get your program started. The complete system with all the downloads, all the documents, is $2,997 for the complete thing. Now, what do you actually get for that? Well, I call this the ultimate freedom. We're going to go over a lot of details, and I'm going to do this with you, all 3 steps. I'm going to show you way more than that, than what we just showed you. The 3 steps I showed you today, you can take with you. But we're also going to spend time together and make sure it's customized for you. Got a couple bonuses we throw in. First of all, I'm going to do 3 months of coaching call. We're going to have some group calls as well as the individual calls I'm going to do with you. These are actually valued at $3,997. Second bonus I'm going to give you is a private Facebook group. I just started that recently, and I just privatized it. Okay, we did have it public, and I've already kind of got rid of some people out of there, but we want to keep this private just for our Dealionaire group. Also, email support. This is right here with all the support that you're going to get. This is valued at $2,997. The third bonus we're putting in is simplified paperwork to run your business. This is all the documents you need. I showed you a few of them today. I have spent tens of thousands, way more than tens of thousands of dollars on all this with my attorney, getting everything just how we want it. With them, we valued this at $11,997. I actually think it's valued way higher than that, but that's all the stuff that I share with you and I show you with your downloads. Another one is the workbook. Again, I've been updating this thing and working on this for a long time now. In fact, I was just working on it into the night, late last night. I keep putting more and more stuff into this. This is all you really need to run your entire business. This is not for sale anywhere, okay? But this is something that I'm going to give to you when we work together. Total value of all this, if you add it all up, $22,985. I've got it today for $14.97. That's all of this, including every bit of it. And I wasn't going to do this, but they did want me to offer financing at 3 payments or $5.99 a piece. Okay, what do you have to do to get involved? Involved with the system here for the Ultimate Freedom? Well, the first step is to apply for it. I do have a questionnaire. If for some reason, I want to make sure we get along. I want to make sure that we're right to work together. It has nothing to do with the money. Okay, if it had to do with the money, I would only work with a handful of people at a time. But that's what I've actually chose to do, is just work with a handful of people at a time. So the first step you need to do is apply for it. I will send you a questionnaire. It's not very long. It's just a few questions, but just got to make sure we're on the right page. For some reason, we're not compatible. Well, then I'll just send it all back to you. I'll send your money back, and we'll still be friends. Okay. The second step is to actually fill out the application and send it back ASAP. I only take a couple of people to start with. I keep my groups small so we can keep it personal. We can work one-on-one. I don't like the big groups. I've been involved with many trainings that have as much as 800 or 1,200 people in them, and those are fine. And even though you get in the small groups, it's not quite the same as the one-on-one you're gonna get. So I encourage you to send them back, because when it's full, depending on who we have to work for, that's it, and you'll have to wait till the next one if you're accepted. So you want to return this right away. And then the step 3 is you're going to deploy your own schedule. Okay, we're going to set up a time together. When you're approved to work together, where you're accepted, then what we're going to do is you and I are going to set up a time. We're going to go over your investment strategies, your goals, and what your techniques want to be. We're going to come up with a good time for you. We're going to do these trainings live. They are going to be recorded. So if for some reason you can't make it, that's fine. But I do want to keep plenty of time for you to work on your personal program, your personal schedule. So that has to be planned. Some people do it. I've had them do it. Oh, I put the kids to bed, 8 o'clock at night on Tuesdays. And then that's when I want to do it, because I'll have time, uninterrupted time. So it just depends on what it is for you, but I'll work with you on that. So I do have what I consider a better than money back guarantee. This is something we put together over a little period of time to make it fair for everyone. And it simply goes like this. After you attend the Secrets of a Dealionaire Ultimate Freedom training system, follow the action steps. You got to do it. You can't just read the stuff and move on, including all the follow-up coaching calls that may be included, and apply the information. Just put it into practice. You are guaranteed to own a property that's valued at least $2,000 for little or no money, or I will give you one of my properties for free. And I promise you that. I will give you properties. I want you to get out there and get going from day one. You're not even going to have to wait till the third step. I want you to get out there and get one immediately. We're going to work together on this. So there's the complete system right there. I know we do have it valued at the $22,985, $14.97 today. What I'm going to do, this is something I just added though. I'm going to put in lifetime access for all this. You're going to have lifetime access to our private group, also the email, anything that you want for the rest of your life. You're going to have access to it. We're going to find out. If for some reason I don't know, or the group don't know, we'll find out for you. I'm still good friends with my attorney and with many other trainers in the business. We can find out for you. So I'm going to give you lifetime access to this. I was discouraged from some of my friends and mentors that said you don't want to do this, but you know what I found is most people just need help when they first get started, and then they just usually send me their successes a few months down the road, because you don't need me. And that my whole philosophy for this whole program is to you don't have to break the bank to get into real estate investing. Of course, like I said, I've spent hundreds of thousands really on my own education. I don't regret it. Some trainings are better than others. I want to show you how you can get into something without breaking the bank. That's my whole philosophy behind all of this, and that's why I'm doing this. So I want you to go and apply now. Okay, that's go to the, I just have my, you can see the link below. I'm going to have a link on here, but you can just send me a request at theDealionaire@gmail.com. I'm going to do something else that I wasn't going to do, but I do, like I said, to keep this really small, because I like small groups, because I want us all to be kind of more intimate. For the first 9 to apply right now and actually get accepted too. I mean, you do have to send your application back and get accepted. I'm going to do it for only $997. And again, you're going to get everything with that. That's going to be completely with the lifetime access also. So that's the entire program right there.